Hey, what is up, guys? Zithus here, and today we are taking a look at Don't Starve for the PC. I feel it's a bit redundant saying we're looking at anything for the PC because I've played every game we have currently played on the PC, but regardless. So, this is a Tim Burton-looking survival game, survival sandbox, I suppose you could call it. And I know the market is flooded in survival sandboxes, but that's what makes this game awesome, because it's actually good and different from all the other, oh my god, Minecraft and Terraria got real big, let's cash in on this survival sandbox type game. No, this one took that formula and ran with it and made it its own. And it's absolutely great. I am digging the hell out of it, which is why I have... if we go to the morgue here, played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds before even recording, and played for a total of 1, 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 21 days of game time before finally, you know, fucking finally sitting down to record a video and talk about it. So, I am going to start a new game. I've got a few characters unlocked, but seeing as we're just gonna go ahead and pretend that this is a fresh save file, and these are unlockable characters, which for the sake of argument I do not have access to. So we're going to play as the gentleman scientist Wilson. He will conquer it all with the power of his mind. He grows a magnificent beard, which I will show off if we survive long enough. So let's apply that and just get started, and I can talk as we go. I really like the kind of randomly pieced together loading titles, blah blah blah. I don't know, it's cute, it's funny. This game's got a nice sort of... I've yet to learn who the fuck this guy is. I've played for a few hours, no idea. Absolutely no idea. And look, he's gone. Why are we here? I don't know. So, a thing that I like about this game, first of all, the aesthetics I really enjoy. It's very easy for indie games nowadays to go for with the nostalgic low-res pixel graphics, which, you know, for some games works really well. But it's nice to see an indie game like this that kind of has its own style, has its own voice, you know. And yeah, you could say, oh, it looks just like Tim Burton, but I think it works. And like the music really fits the aesthetic as well, and so from that point, I really enjoy it. So, as you can see, for the first part of our first day here is like any other survival sandbox. We will go around picking up anything and everything, which we will then eventually make into tools and other things to help us not starve. There we go. I said it. Don't starve. If we starve, we lose. I will say, all the times that I've died, never starved. The starving is kind of the least present of dangers, really, from my experience. I've been killed by bees. I've been killed by spiders. I got killed by some what are called beefalo, which are, you know, buffalo, but they're made of meat. I mean, well, technically buffalo are made of meat too, but you know what I mean. They're big, furry, roaming animals that you can harvest their poops to make fertilizer, or you can stab them a bunch and then eat them. I was trying to employ the latter strategy of the stabbing and the eating, but then a bunch of them were like, hey, why the fuck are you stabbing and eating that guy? We're gonna gore you, and then it's gonna be game over. And, you know, I began to question my decision-making abilities. So we have picked up a decent number of resources. Petals we are going to use to make a hat called a garland, which will increase our sanity. Did not mean to pause there. So, just to talk about the core mechanics outside of what I've been doing. Over here, on the right side of the screen, we've got our day meter. Yellow is daytime, red is twilight, bluish, violetish is nighttime. So we definitely want to have like a campfire made and some food ready for nighttime so that we can survive the night and make it on to our next day. In addition to that, we've got our stomach level here, which is out of, I've never really looked, probably out of like 130, 150. And that'll gradually go down as we get hungry because, you know, that's how life works. Got our health over here, which should stay at a constant unless we get into some sort of combat, which, you know, I might stab some fuckers on this video and we may incur some damage. And then the bottom is our sanity. If we walk into the dark without a light, we lose sanity. If we eat certain things or perform certain tasks, we lose sanity. And as our sanity gets lower and lower, at critical levels, we start to hallucinate. These creepy shadow monster things will pop up, and once it gets to a certain point, they'll become manifested in reality and attack us, and that gets bad. So, alright, it is almost twilight, and I have talked and talked and talked, so we're going to need to make an axe, definitely. And then, can we go ahead and make a pick? We sure can. So what we're going to want to do is chop down some trees. You can't build a fire without chopping down some trees. 3 different sizes of trees. We got little fucker over here, we got pretty nice looking guy, and then we got our big triumphant bastard here, which we are going to chop the hell down and take his sweet, sweet meat logs, and then we are going to burn them for survival. They also drop pine cones. So far, all I've seen the pine cones can do is provide fuel for fires. I'm sure they're used in a crafting recipe of some sort. It's getting late. It'll be dark soon. As you can see, since it's getting darker and we don't have a light, our sanity is slowly draining. So let's see if we can pick a little bit more berries. Let's just chop down one more tree because it doesn't really get super dangerous until actual nighttime. And if we stay in the full dark for too long, we will die. But it gets more difficult as the game progresses. You know, after a few nights, stuff will start to come out and attack you. But for the first night, it's generally pretty docile. All you have to do is make sure you have a fire and some noms, and you get basically a free ride to the next day, because that would kind of be shitty if they just went and fucked you up the butt right out the gate. And I appreciate that. Kind of a nice gradual difficulty curve. So, ooh, here's a wormhole. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to just survive the night, and then I'll show you what the wormhole does. We'll take the red pill, or it's the blue pill. No, it was the red pill that showed us how deep the rabbit hole went. And of course, it's not a rabbit, it's a wormhole. It's not a perfect analogy. You won't think you can do this? Why don't you get up here and do it yourself, tough guy? I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. It's hard when we don't communicate all the time, and I just feel like, you know, we're getting out of touch, and I'm sorry that if I snap at you. Oh, this, over time, trees will grow. Obviously, this turned from little fucker into not too bad sized guy. Let's go ahead and pick up the pine cone, because why the hell not? So over here, we're going to go into our light section. We have campfires, which take grass and logs. We'll be able to make a fire pit. Fire pits are actual permanent installations, whereas if a campfire goes out, it just turns into ash. We also have torches, which we can carry around with us to provide a little bit of light, and also to light stuff on fire, which is wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and I try not to build my campfires too early before actual nighttime, just so I'm not wasting fuel. But in addition to providing a sweet, sweet life-saving light, there we are, that's a nice level right there. We can also cook our food. So we've got some carrots, which are, you know, good enough on their own, but if they're cooked, they give a bit of increased benefits in terms of hunger filled up and then health regenerated. I can't crunch the exact numbers. From my experience, it almost feels like as days go on, like certain foods become less effective, like carrots and berries, which I guess makes sense, you know, from a gameplay standpoint, because you can't just be subsisting on the easiest foods together for the whole game. There's nothing really compelling to make you explore and find better means. But, you know, obviously from a real life standpoint, a berry today would fill you up just as much as a berry tomorrow. But you know what? It's a game, and it's gotta be able to push you forward. So I definitely don't fault it for that. So, what can we do here? We can look through our crafting menu. Ooh, you know what? Let's build a trap. We can put traps near like rabbit holes and stuff, and it'll catch rabbits. I've personally never actually caught a rabbit with a trap, but I believe it can be done because, you know, they exist. Also, if we examine things, Maxwell will say things about it. This isn't Maxwell, this is Wilson. But if we go ahead and kind of overlight it to this point, fire's getting out of hand. If we had this too close to trees, it would start a forest fire. And, you know, a lot of times that's bad, but there are certain times when starting a forest fire can be advantageous. And at some point, I'm sure we will come into a situation in which that is good. For instance, if we come across a spider's nest, spiders are nasty little fuckers with too many legs, and I don't trust them because they got too many legs. So if we want to, say, burn down a spider's nest, if we start a forest fire, you know, in a forest that houses the spider's nest, hopefully, if the nest is in proximity to one of the burning trees, it'll just burn right the fuck down. So here's this wormhole. We're just going to hop on in and see what that does. Ta-da! That was not a sane thing to do. So basically, jumping into wormhole drains our sanity a little bit, but if we bring up the map here, it's moved us across the map quite a bit. Really, in the grand scheme of things, that's really not that far, but that's what wormholes do. Perhaps, although there could be like an ocean in between these two parts of the map, and we very well could have reached a nice area that would have been otherwise inaccessible. So we're going to, the first thing I want to do here is, Jesus Christ, something popped up. There we are. We need to pick up 2 more flowers, and we can make a very useful piece of early game equipment that I will show you guys. I feel bad that this kind of first look is a little less my impressions, just because I played the game so much, but really enjoying it, and I played a little too much before the video, and I apologize. And I mean, at the same time, you know, while some of these first looks are kind of meant to be first impressions where, you know, when a game is relatively new, Don't Starve has been out for a while, so it's just kind of falls into the vein of I like to make a let's try of every game that I pick up to play, whether I, you know, plan to make a series on it or not, just to kind of keep you guys in the loop of what I'm doing, whether you care or not. You know, I make channel video games to the internet, and I want to tell you about the games I'm playing for the internet. So we have 12 flowers, which means we can make a garland. We put that on, and you'll notice, well, right now our sanity is full, but if our sanity goes down a little bit, that's some kind of ominous music there. But if our sanity is drained, you know, be it through nighttime or other means, the garland will allow us to slowly build our sanity back up, which is extremely useful because sanity can get really nasty if it gets too low. And garlands are relatively easy to make. So it does look like there is an ocean separating us from the other side of our wormhole, so that definitely was not a wasted endeavor coming over here for that. But what we really need to do is find some logs, because, you know, we have a list of things that we can make right now, but there are a lot more if we build a science machine. So what we need are some rocks and a gold nugget. That will definitely help us get to where we need to go to progress a little further. We can unlock new recipes, and in general just make better stuff to help us survive further. So a little bit of this is just going to kind of consist of me looking on the map and trying to find a place that has rocks, a different biome. Oh, there's a spider's nest. Let's stay the fuck away from that because they're big. And you know what? No, let's not stay the fuck away from that. Let me show you what these guys look like. Come here. Yep. Look at him. Ooh, nasty. They're relatively easy to kill, though. If you can, typically, if you're fighting one-on-one, if you can get to him before he attacks you, you can usually win without taking damage. So, if we get enough silk from these guys, oh god, they're ganging up on me now. Get enough silk, we can make a top hat, which I've never done before. So, anybody else? Anybody else coming? I guess not. Well, let's see if we can't get some silk from just breaking down this little house here. Wonderful. Fantastic. Top hat. We need 2 more. Well, maybe later. So our hunger is going down a little bit, but we have some roasted berries, which, to be quite honest, roasted berries sounds disgusting. But, you know, oh, there's another wormhole. Our axe is going to break before we chop this down, so let's go ahead and make ourselves another one while we've got enough flint. Choppity, choppity, chip, 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 chop, 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 chop. And after this night, I think we'll get into that wormhole. I've actually never come across a map with 2 wormholes before, so I'm interested to see where this one goes. And it kind of looks like, actually, this little island is completely secluded. So let's... Oh, another thing that we can do. Let us make a torch. So let's equip that. And watch what happens if we light it on fire. So, oh, we took a little bit of burning damage, but whatever. Life has been worse. Let's get this unequipped so we don't, you know, waste charge. Because the torch will run out of steam pretty quickly. Oh no, I burned down the trees and now they're all burnt. But if I chop it down, well bam, charcoal, motherfuckers. A great, great fuel for fire. So if you come across a forest where you don't think you're going to be staying very long, burn it down, get yourself some fuel. I feel like somehow there should be cosmic repercussions for just blatant destruction of nature. Also when I examine, that's a examining certain things, they'll say funny things like that. Hey, take that, nature. You can examine just about anything, and it'll comes from a spider's butt. I don't think I should eat that. Yuck! It's all vegetable-y. Red berries taste the best. It's big, it's heavy, and it's wood. Iconic, isn't it? Yeah, the pickaxe in survival games. I wove it real tight. It's a very sharp rock. Cut grass, ready for arts and crafts. It's a bunch of small twigs. I don't think heat improved them. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Who the fuck roasts berries? I showed those flowers who's boss. So yeah, the game itself just has kind of a wit that I really appreciate. So let's leave the dream into someone else. No, let's... oh, I can't carry any more stuff. So let's... Oh! We can plant the pine cones. Okay, also, while we're just kind of sitting around, I am obviously playing with the mouse and keyboard, but the game does have very, very nice controller support. Mouse and keyboard for me is really just a preference. Controller I used for my first run, and it worked perfectly well. I have absolutely no complaints about it. And I appreciate that. Sometimes it's hard to find a PC game that has good mouse and keyboard and controller support. So it's nice. That's a very nice thing about this. So we are going to be waiting out our night, and as the days go on, the night cycle will change a little bit. World 1. I don't... Obviously there is a World 2, otherwise this wouldn't just be called World 1, but I do not know what further worlds hold for us. So it's raining. I don't have any concrete proof that it makes our fire go down more quickly, but, you know, just the logical thought that, oh, hey, water and fire do not typically agree with one another just by their very nature. You know, if I was building a big pile of cats and it began to rain some dogs, probably would have a bit of an issue. So naturally, fire, water, I've rambled on about that enough for one video. Anyway, so we're waiting for daytime. Not a whole lot else to do here. Oh, so my fucking earbuds. I wear these to the gym as well. I had a nice pair of Audio-Technica 50s and then they got stolen, blah blah blah. I'm bitter and angry. But I put these in my backpack and my fucking creatine powder spilled on the way back. So I had to dust a bunch of creatine off of my earbuds, and now I just feel like I've got little granules in my ear, even though I'm pretty sure I cleaned it all off, but I'm paranoid. We're gonna jump down this wormhole and see where the fuck it goes. Maybe it'll take us someplace with... Oh, what? Oh, this is kind of cool. We got some cut stone, which I don't think I've ever been able to make. A dead guy. Sometimes you'll find skeletons, which will have cool things. You know, like spoils and loots and whatnot. Oh, we've just found some gold on the ground here, which will be good. Now if we can just get some rocks, we can build ourselves a science machine and get this party going. So let's go ahead and equip our pickaxe. So there are two types of rock formations that I've come across. You can see the little gold streaks in this guy, which means if you break him open, he will yield gold nuggets in addition to the... Oh, damn it. What can I get rid of? Let's just eat this cat. There we go. In addition to the rocks and flint and niter that are yielded from regular rocks. So let's go ahead and build ourselves... What do we need for a science machine? We need more rocks. Okay. So let's go and pick ourselves up this rock that I saw over here. If you notice, the fog texture kind of comes in and... Oh my god, there's a whole little man-made structure over here. What is this? We got stone walls and a box thing. Let's examine that. I can't... No, that's not what I want. I want to examine it. Let's may control the polarity of the whole universe. Ooh, a gnome! Let's take a look at what this guy says. It must be some kind of religious artifact. Wonderful. Alright, so this looks like a nice safe place. Let's get rid of these evil flowers. I'm not really sure what an evil flower is, but I'm not sure I want to hold these. I wonder if it drains our sanity to be holding. Oh, look at that. Our sanity is going down despite our garland. So let's just get away. There we go. Wonderful. So let's go ahead and build ourselves a science machine. There we are. Now, being in proximity of the science machine will allow us to find better recipes that we can make. So, for instance, we can make a shovel. We can build a prototype, and then we will be able to build more shovels now that we made a prototype, even when we're not in direct contact with the science machine. So, what I'm going to do, just to show off our shovel here, since we're right next to this creepy cemetery, let's dig up some graves. We have a life-giving amulet? Okay, well, we'll equip the fuck out of that, and that'll give us passive healing. There's a tiny rocket ship. Actually, if we can go ahead and nom up these berries and take the amulet off, that way we won't be wasting charge when we actually don't need it. So let's... I've never dug up a whole graveyard before. Ooh, there's another life-giving amulet. Are you serious? And a Gord's knot. I don't know what that does. The knot is stuck forever. I feel so safe when I'm wearing it. Yep. So, let's dig up the rest of the cemetery, and I don't really know how to cut off a first look for a survival sandbox game, because there's just a wealth of content to explore just by the nature of the games. But, I think I'm going to go ahead and do with this what I did with Teleglitch, and just record the rest of this life, at least. And if I decide to make a series, I will. If not, at least you don't have to... What the fuck? Okay, well, that was a mistake. Let's run the fuck away from this guy. So, I'm going to run the hell away and be a coward and just stop recording here because I don't know... Oh, there's another fucking wormhole over there. So let's... Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Just to kind of sum up, I really like this game. It's really captured that kind of sense of wonder that I got from an early survival sandbox like Minecraft. Because there's so much about this world that I don't know, and it's exciting. I die a lot, but every run I typically learn at least one new thing about the world around me, and that is exciting, and it keeps bringing me back to play more. I got this for $6 on sale on Steam, but I think it is $15 default, and I would say that $15 is absolutely a price that it's worth paying to play an awesome game like this. So if you like survival sandboxes at all, if you dig kind of, I hesitate to say gothy, but, you know, kind of the Tim Burton-y sorts of things, you know, tastefully Tim Burton, not, you know, later, like, oh my god, how can we market Alice in Wonderland a Hot Topic kind of thing. But no, if you like this kind of art style and the kind of witty humor that the game provides, and as well as the challenge of survival, I would absolutely pick this up. I mean, shit, if you're watching this video, you probably already have the game because it's been out for a decent amount of time. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I will be back with a couple more episodes until I die or until I starve, even though should probably try to don't starve. But yeah, I will be back for a couple more videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.